Hello everyone, Leah Dixon here from Port Coquitlam, British Columbia. I am live this Monday night. Sorry for popping on a little bit late. I had some technical difficulties. My computer decided it needed to update. So getting on a little bit late this evening. Hopefully you guys are still around and able to join me. I just have a really fun treat box/bag thing to show you guys tonight. This is one of my favorite kind of little gift bags to create as either table toppers or little gifts to give to my students. They are perfect. They hold about 2 or 3 Lindt chocolate balls or like a chocolate, a little lotto ticket or whatever, big enough for nail polish, that kind of thing. So I'm going to switch over to my desktop and I'll get started showing you how to create this sweet little treat bag. All right, so here it is. This is the one that I created as my sample, and I'll walk you guys through the whole way that we make this. So I love this one because the bottom is square, so you can see, you know, it's bigger than my thumb. It's going to fit like nice little bits of chocolate or whatever. Great for nail polish, that kind of thing. And then it's quite tall as well, like, you know, bigger than my hand. So yeah, it's a great little treat bag. So I'm going to set that to the side. And I did the sentiment on here, the Be Jolly, using the Ornamental Christmas stamp set. But of course, you can grab any stamp set you want. You could also grab any designer series paper that you wanted. So I am going to do this one. Now, you could also do it with the beautiful gold highlights and everything. So it just depends on which side of the page you want to use. I do highly recommend using a simply scored board for this. So I can't show you my whole board because it's very large. It's just slightly over 12 inches, both across and down. So what you want to do is take a 6x6 piece of designer series paper, and you want to come in with your, what would be the bottom of your bag, and score at 1 3/8. So I find my 1 and then 1, 2, 3 little lines. And so 1 3/8. Then you want to turn your paper clockwise, and you want to score at 1 3/8 again, but this time we are only scoring to the first line that we scored. Okay, so it's just a short little score. And then we are going to score at 2 3/4. And we're going to score the whole length. Now we're going to score at 4 1/8, but again, only to our score line. And then we're going to score at 5 1/2, but we're going to do the whole length again. All right, so that is pretty much it. We're basically ready to make our bag now. So it's seriously the sweetest, simplest little treat bag you could ever possibly imagine making. So now all these little lines down at the bottom up to the score line, we want to go ahead and cut those. So if you wanted to and you were using your paper trimmer, when you do these ones, you could have cut these lines instead of scoring them. I find this bag simple enough, though. I like to just do all the scoring and then cut them. And then this one little piece, I come in here and just cut that piece off entirely. All right, so that's all we've got going on there, is just cutting that little bit off the side. All right, so now I'm going to take a piece of tear and tape. You can use whatever really strong adhesive you like, but I'm going to use tear and tape on here. And I actually just come in, put it down, and I follow that score line pretty closely. There we go. And then we tear it. All right, so I love tear and tape because it's so easy to use. So we come in and do that. And then we're just going to fold our 2 score lines that go all the way to the top. I'm going to fold those. I'm going to take this adhesive covering off, Now I let my tear and tape go quite far to the top, so I'm going to just fold that in. And then with my tear and tape on there, I'm just going to close this up. Okay, so there we go. So I've just folded that closed. Now with it still all flat like this, you're going to get any small hole punch that you've got. So now I had one. I don't know where I put it on my desk. Isn't that fun? Maybe that actually was good. Oh, look at me. I was good and I put it away. So the one I'm using, I'm not sure exactly how big it is, maybe 1/8 of an inch. And I'm just going to come in and put that little hole in there. So whatever kind of hole punch you've got to do that, you're going to want to put that hole in there right now. All right, now we're going to finalize the box itself. So when I do this, I want to find my fold. I want to make sure that where I glued it, so I'm actually having trouble finding it. Okay, so where I glued it, I want that fold to kind of be towards the back. And then I also want, when I fold these in, I want it to kind of be like closed at the front there. So I've just folded those edges in. And I'm going to put a little piece of tear and tape across there. So you really only need one to hold this all together. I'll peel that adhesive off. There we go. And then I just line this all up so I've got a nice little square on the bottom. And voila, the basics of our little treat box here are now done. And so it's complete and ready to fill. So you can pop in there whatever kinds of treats you want to put in. Once you've filled it up, or I guess even before you filled it up, we can create some kind of a label for the front if you want. And then once it is filled, I just grab some ribbon. I'm using, this is actually on our last chance list, I'm using the nice thick, it's called the Real Red Shiny ribbon. And it's like 3/4 of an inch thick, or no, half an inch wide. It's very, very nice wide ribbon though. So I just put that through the hole. I'm going to give it a little trim. No need to like have enough to tie or anything. We're just going to let it stick straight up off the top. And then you can use whatever you'd like to close this up. I've just got here some basic white baker's twine. This is from our essentials pack. And I'm just going to grab enough there that I can tie a bow. So I'm just going to come in here and cross it over and pull once. And now that's nice and secured. Make a little bow here. Bunny ears. There. Tie that around. And now I can trim up the ends of my red and my white baker's red ribbon and white baker's twine. My baker's twine looks fine to me, so I'm not going to trim that. But I am going to come in and give a little trim to these red pieces so that they are not frayed, because after going through that little hole, they got a little frayed. Okay, there we go. So now we have our cute little box and we're just ready to decorate it however you want. So what I have done to decorate mine is I took a 1 7/8 inch circle punch and made a real red circle. And then you could go ahead and grab the 1 3/4 inch punch if you wanted to punch your white circle. I wanted just a little bit more kind of detail to it. So I'm taking the stylish shape circle that is 1 3/4 of an inch. And I'm going to run that through my mini machine here, just so that there's a little bit more kind of detail to it. I'll pop that on here. We'll cut that out. There we go. Oh, hello. Thanks for watching. Just finishing up making the label here on my little treat bag. And then if you didn't catch all those measurements as I was saying them in the video, I will be posting this on my blog, stampinwithleah.ca. And then you will be able to get all those measurements off of my blog post that will come out tomorrow. Hi, Carol. Thanks for joining. All right. So before I glue these together, I am just going to do some stamping on here. So I'm going to get my Memento black ink. And we're going to stamp Be Jolly right on here. All right, so there we go. We've got our little Be Jolly. And then we're just going to glue these together and attach them to our little treat bag. So I like using liquid glue. Oh, hey, Heather. Thanks for joining. Yeah, isn't it sweet? I've done these at Halloween as well for my students. And yeah, they're just fun little ways to package up some sweet treats. And yeah, so now to attach this to the front of my little treat bag, though, I'm not going to put adhesive all over my whole circle. I'm actually going to grab a piece of tear and tape that's smaller than my circle, and I'm going to stick it to my bag right along the front of my bag. And then I'm going to peel it off. Sometimes with the tear and tape, you have to be, you have to burnish it down to be able to get the edges. There we go. Got an edge. So now with that there, I'm going to take my little Be Jolly circle and put that over. And we've attached it. So now my bag just kind of crumpled in on itself. So I'm going to pop it out a little bit. And there we go. So that is our finished bag, and you can decorate this as much or as little as you wanted. If you wanted to add a little bit of gold shine on here, we could do that as well. My favorite way to do that is with the gold sequins, or, oh, actually, where do I have those? The sparkling sequins. Those are awesome. Here we go. So the traditional sparkling sequins, we can go ahead and put a little bit of red or gold, whatever we want on there. I think I'm going to go gold on this. So grab a little gold one there, put that there, little gold one there, and a little gold one up there. So just an extra little touch of shimmer and shine to make it a little more special. So you guys can let me know, which one do you prefer, with or without the gold? And yeah, so that is how quick and easy this is. So if you guys want to stick around and just kind of watch that process one more time, I'm going to grab another piece of 6x6 DSP, a totally different pattern, and we're going to give this a go, creating something just a little bit different. I'm going to actually grab my favorite DSP right now, which is this absolutely gorgeous red and gold. Love the sparkles all the time. That's awesome. So I'm just taking this piece. I'm going to go to my trimmer and cut this to 6x6. 6x6. So there you have it, our beautiful red paper. So now always remember that the side you want showing on the outside, because I've got the awesome green gingham, but I've also got the beautiful red. The side you're showing on the outside is the side that you want up on your scoreboard. All right, let's bring this in. And then this paper doesn't really have a direction, but I actually feel like that's upright. So the side that you want at the bottom, you're going to put off to the side and then come in 1, 2, 3. So 1 3/8. And then this is important. Turn it clockwise, just one turn. And then we do 1 3/8, but only to the score line. Then we do 2 3/4 all the way, 4 1/8 only to the score line, and 5 1/2 all the way. All right, so that is our scoring to create our little treat bag. Now I need my scissors, and I'm going to cut just the score line on these. Snip off that little corner. There we go, just like that. So we're just creating the bottom tabs. And then we can put our tear and tape on here. So you can see why these are a favorite treat bag, because they're cute, they're functional, and they are fast to make. I think it takes longer to do the decorations on the front than it takes to make the little treat bags. All right, so we've got that score line, and we've got that score line. And there we go. All right, so now that's down, so that's the one I want a piece on. It doesn't really matter which flap you put your adhesive on, as long as it's the last flap that you close in. So then we take that, we close it in. So I like to do 2 sides, the back, and then the one with the adhesive. And so there you see we get our square base and our little treat bag all ready to go. So I'm going to grab my hole punch again. And we're going to pop in here, put a nice little hole at the top to seal that. And for this one, I feel like I don't want to go with the red ribbon. That's going to be just too much red. I actually have been loving pairing Secret Sea with this red. I'm just finding it such an elegant combo, having the real red and Secret Sea together. So we're going to put that through. And find my scissors. There they are. All right. So we're going to use the Secret Sea faux linen ribbon. And to seal this one, we could go ahead and use the white again, but because we have so much gold going on, I actually am going to grab my white and gold twine. So I love this stuff. It actually came in the Modern Christmas suite. You get the white and gold and the black and gold. So I'm going to use the white and gold for this one. And just grab a little piece there. And tie that around. So I just want to straighten that out. There we go. So I'm going to come in here, tie a knot first. So I realized I should have had all my goodies here, and I could be filling these before I tie them shut. Then I won't have to reopen them after the video to put my treats in them. Oh well. C'est la vie. All right. So just a little bit of white gold there. And then we'll trim up those ends. Trim out these ends. There we go. And one more. Yeah. All right, and now we just have to work on our decoration for the front. And again, you guys, you can do anything you want when you're decorating this. You can do circle tags for the front. You can do like any other kind of shape. You can do like little fussy cut little critters or whatever. So I'm actually going to, stick with 'Tis the Season. I think I actually want to put like a little poinsettia or something on here. So I'm going to switch it up. And I'm going to switch over to the Jolly Holly stamp set. And I've got just a little bit bigger circle. And we're not going to do a border on this one. I'm going to come in here and think we're going to do Merry and Christmas if it'll fit. Oh, it just fits. Sweet. All right, so we're going to do Merry Christmas across here. And I'm going to stamp these in Secret C. So when I do this Merry Christmas, do I have a different Merry? Oh, I do. Good. I was just feeling a little too busy to me with the big Merry and the big Christmas. So we're going to do a tiny Merry and a big Christmas. So I actually don't like to stamp these separately. I like to stamp them as one. So I like to place them on my circle and then pick it up with one block. So now that I've got that placed, I'll come in and pick it up. And now I know I'm happy with where it's going. Oh, hi, Lila. Thanks for joining. So I'm going to grab my Secret C ink. And come in here, stamp that. There we go. Oh, I should have done those separately. All right, that Mary's just a little too far off. Okay, we're going to redo that. So, all right, put that off to the side. And let's remove that. We'll do it separate. Usually I do them together, but not today. Apparently that's not going to work. All right, so there's my Christmas. And there's my Merry. All right, so I've got those on there. And now I'm going to add just a little poinsettia onto here. So this stamp set has the gorgeous poinsettia. And I'm going to just do a little one of those popped up. So there actually are dies that go with this as well. I'm not sure where my dies are, so I'm not going to bother digging them out. So that circle that I messed up, I'm just going to use the back side of it. And this is real red. So I'm going to grab my real red ink. I'm going to stamp maybe 2 of them on here. There we go. And then we're going to cut those out to attach them to our little label on here. So like I said, we could grab the dies, or actually, you know what? I am going to grab the dies. Fussy cutting 1's fine, but fussy cutting 2, I don't know. I think I'm out. Jolly Holly. Here we go. So I'm going to grab my cute little holly dies, and we're going to die cut these. So grab our little machine. Just looking at this circle, I'm also thinking that Merry Christmas sentiment from our last paper pumpkin would look beautiful on this. All right, so here we go. Get one of those little flowers and one more. All right, there we go. Okay, so we've got that. Put that away. So now we're going to bring this back in. And I do want to give this just a little bit more color. So I'm going to grab my real red blends. And, oh, do I want to do that, or do I want to, you know what? Let's actually give this a little sparkle and shine. Instead of that, let's grab Wink of Stella. And I'm going to color these. And the cool thing about Wink of Stella and water-based inks is that it grabs the color. So it's turning my petals a little pinkish. This is so tiny. This one will be tricky to hold on to. Okay, so there we go. And another one. So you just want to actually drag this across your red ink, and it's going to pull that red ink out and make our little petals pink. Now, if you're worried about smudging it, you can always do 4 of them and then wait until it's dry and then do the 5th one. There we go. All right, so we've got those cute little pink petals. I'm just going to set those to the side to dry. It doesn't take very long for Wink of Stella to dry. While we're waiting on that, I'm going to take this piece and attach it to the front of my card. So, same thing as I did before is I'm going to put it right down the center line. And then this piece can get attached like that. All right. Now to attach these to here, I'm actually going to use mini dimensionals. And then I think I'm going to put a little gold glitter in the center. So somewhere around here, I have got mini dimensionals. Nope. Somewhere around here I had mini dimensionals. No, those are big ones. Come on. Where'd you go? There we go. There's my minis. All right. So these should be dry enough to handle now. And I'm just going to pop that on the back. There we go. And one more. Pop that on the back. And then I put that one right there. And that one right there. So 2 little poinsettias on there. And then I'm going to put little gold sequins in the centers of them. So these are those same traditional sparkling sequins. Wink of Stella is a must. Yeah, I love the Wink of Stella. And there you have it. We have another little treat box all done up so quick and easy. And then the sentiment I was thinking of that would look so cute on here is sending a little Christmas cheer. So I'll just stamp that and show you what that would look like as well. So this is from the most recent paper pumpkin. It was these cute little gift boxes that they have. Oh, thanks, Heath. Yeah, so we could have just come in here like this and sending a little Christmas cheer. I love the font of this particular sentiment from this paper pumpkin. So there we go. And I do have one extra of our little paper pumpkin that made these boxes. So if you're interested in that, you can give me a shout, and we can pop that into the mail for you if you're in Canada. So that's the sentiment. So we could have done that with the little poinsettias as well. So lots and lots of options. So there you go. That's our sweet little treat box. Like I said, I will post the dimensions for this on my blog, stampinwithleah.ca. So thank you everyone for joining me this evening, and I'll be back next Monday. Not sure if my paper pumpkin arrives. I'll be doing a paper pumpkin live, and if it doesn't, I think I actually am going to be making a baby card. I've completely sold out of my baby cards at my last craft fair, and so need to replenish. So I think that's what we'll be doing. So have a wonderful evening, everyone, and I'll talk to you all next Monday. Bye.